Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova and I am going to crochet and answer some spooky Halloween questions, 31 spooky Halloween questions, since it is 31 days in this month of October. So I thought I would come on here and I would crochet with you guys and answer these spooky Halloween questions. You can feel free to also answer the spooky Halloween questions down below in the comments section, or if you are a YouTuber, you can feel free to also do a video, and I will have a clean copy of the questions in the description, so you can copy and paste that if you would like to participate. I was tagged to do this spooky Halloween questions by Tiffany at CMM Designs, and I will tag her below so you can check her out and see what her answers were. And so this is just for fun, nothing to take too seriously, but you know, 'tis the season to get spooky, so I figured might as well. Alright, so I am just doing some single crochets and answering some questions. Alright, number 1, favorite horror or Halloween themed song. I really like, for Halloween themed songs, I really like the classic fun party songs, so like the Monster Mash, Flying Purple People Eater, because it does say horror or Halloween themed, so I'm gonna go with Halloween themed. And I'm going to say, like, the classic, like, Monster Mash or Flying Purple People Eater. Because they're just super fun. And I'm not really sure what I would consider a horror-themed song anyways. So I'm just going to go with Halloween. Because that's easier for me to figure out what they mean. Number 2, name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or an abandoned building. Well, I wouldn't want to run into a dark forest or an abandoned building, to be completely fair. I get freaked out really easy, so, like, I wouldn't want to run into anything, except for maybe, like, someone that I know and trust, or, I don't know, like, a safe, cuddly dog. So, yeah, like, anything. But, you know, I guess to answer the question straight up, I wouldn't want to run into a murderer. Yeah, I would want to run into a murderer in an abandoned, dark forest or an abandoned building. Number 3, have you ever played with a Ouija board? No, I have not. Number 4, favorite horror monster or villain? Horror monster or villain? I don't know if it means, like, horror monster or horror villain, or if it means, like, horror monster or villain. So I'm just gonna go with, oof. Who is my favorite horror monster or villain? You're gonna have to give me a second to marinate on this one. Let me think. There's so many different movies. Let's throw out some. Okay, so the Joker is a pretty good villain. Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas is like a fun, creepy villain. I like Ursula from The Little Mermaid if we're talking like Disney villains. Hades from Hercules, from the Hercules movie. I don't like picking favorites of really anything, because I like to enjoy a lot of things. Let's see, favorite villain or horror monster? Indecision. Okay, I'm gonna go with, what was the first one I said? You know what? In the spirit of Halloween, I'm gonna go with Oogie Boogie, because I think that's like Halloween-y, and also one of the ones that I like a lot. Number 5, the creepiest thing that's happened to you while you were alone. Okay, so like actually happened to me, I don't know. My mind is very dramatic and likes to imagine things, especially when I'm by myself. So I get freaked out really easy when I'm by myself, especially at night. And I think that I like hear things and see things, but I would like to think that it's mostly not true and that I'm not actually hearing and seeing those things and I'm just freaking out for no reason. So I have lots of experiences where I think I've heard or seen something, but I would like to think they're not true. What was it? The creepiest thing that's happened to you. Okay, so this is kind of a universal experience, I feel like, but one of the creepy things that happens to me is, I'm sure everybody kind of has this happen to you if you have cats, where, like, you're just sitting, and actually dogs kind of do this too, where you're just sitting and then, like, you're just, like, enjoying yourself, and then all of a sudden, they're, like, staring at a spot, and, like, if it's a cat, they'll just suddenly be like, and you're like, oh my god, what is it? Like, what do you see? And they're like, you're like, they see something that I don't see. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Or, like, if the door, like, creaks open and, like, the dogs are, like, looking at the door, like, and you're like, is there something out there? Or, like, when they start barking for no reason and you're like, why are you barking? Like, what is it that triggered you to bark? So, yeah. I'm, like, a big baby and I get freaked out really easy. So, I don't know if I... like, creepy things that have happened to me. I don't know if I, like, legitimately have a creepy thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. 6, if you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you? I don't... Alone? Absolutely not. With someone else... maybe I could be convinced. I know that, like, my husband would love to do stuff like that. I know that he would find that, like, fun. Like I said, I am a scaredy cat, so I personally wouldn't like really want to do that, but, if I was with other people, I could possibly be convinced to do it. I would not do it alone. Absolutely not. No way. No how. And honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't want to. Number 7, are you superstitious? Yes. Yes, I am superstitious. Number 8, do you see figures in your peripheral vision? I feel like these are, like, questions screening me to see if I have, like, schizophrenia or something. Okay, so I will tell you what I do see in my peripheral vision that is not always there, and that is my biggest phobia, which is bugs. I think I see bugs in my peripheral vision a lot, or I think I feel bugs. Like, if I feel just, like, you know, the wind hits my leg wrong, or, like, you know, the cat walks by and his tail just very lightly touches my leg, or I'm wearing, like, a skirt or a dress, or, like, a long, like, you know, house coat or something that, like, drapes, and I forget that it drapes down and it, like, touches my leg, I will, like, freak out. My own hair will, like, freak me out because I'll randomly be sitting here and I'll be like, ah, and I think it's a bug. So I think that that's probably on the same page as seeing figures in your peripheral vision, is that I always think I see bugs. I hate bugs. I'm terrified of bugs. They are disgusting. They gross me out. They make my skin crawl. Like, ooh. And yeah, so that's going to be my answer for that question. It's not really probably the answer to that question, but that's my answer for the question. What is your favorite Halloween candy? My favorite Halloween candy is, I like those mini, you know, those, like, Hershey's minis, the Mr. Good bars. I like those. And I like Take Fives. If you've ever had a Take Five, they're like a peanut butter and pretzel and caramel chocolate. Like, they are so good. They are delicious. And I really like turtles, which like aren't really a Halloween candy, but like if you've ever had turtles, they're also like a caramel and nut type of chocolate. Love it. Number 10, do you prefer horror or thrillers? What is a thriller? Alexa, what is a thriller?
The noun, thriller, can have a couple meanings. 1. A person or thing that thrills, affects with a sudden wave of keen emotion or excitement, as to produce a tremor or tingling sensation through the body. 2. An exciting, suspenseful play or story, especially a mystery story.
Alexa, what are some examples of thriller movies?
Here's what I found.
I don't know any of those movies. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the difference between a thriller and a horror movie is. Okay, so I'll just tell you my favorite type of like horror movie. For one, I am not always in a horror movie type of mood. Like, I have to be in that like mindset where I'm like, okay, I can watch a horror movie, because I am really heavily influenced by things that I consume. So like things that I watch, things that I listen to, social media, things like that. Like, I can go from having a really good day to being super depressed if I'm like taking in a lot of like really depressing content. And I think this is the same for everybody. A lot of people just don't really realize it, and maybe it doesn't affect some people to the extent that it affects me, but like I really am really like impressionable, I guess, to energies from things that I'm like watching or reading or listening to. So like I have to be mindful of if I'm like prepared to take on that, because I like a lot of like my favorite music, a lot of it is like kind of depressing music. I like a lot of alternative and yeah, I like 3 Days Grace and Evanescence and Disturbed and like a lot of music like that, but I can't always listen to all of the music that I like the same for the same reason. Like it will impact my mood. And in order to stay in an upbeat mood, I have to like surround myself with positivity. So I don't know if other people are like that, but that is something I have over time discovered about myself. I am very impressionable. So I can't always watch horror movies, but sometimes I do get in that mood. Like, okay, let's like have like a little horror movie night, you know, watch some scary movies. I'm not big on like blood and gore type of horror movies. Also, there are certain things that I will close my eyes for during a movie. Like, especially if it's anything relating to, like, your eyes. Like, if they're doing anything creepy to do with eyes, I cannot watch that. That is, like, a phobia of mine. But I like, I guess they would be, like, maybe psychological thrillers. I think it is, like the ones that make you think. And I really like paranormal stuff. So I'm like big into paranormal type of horror. I'm also just into paranormal stuff in general. I like paranormal stuff. I always have. So that's like my favorite type of horror movie. And I'm just going to say that as my answer because I don't know the difference between a horror and a thriller. Do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds is number 11. Yes, I do. I think that it is, we are definitely not the only people. With the great vast universe, I think it is silly to think that we are the only people in the universe. I think in the whole big vast universe, we humans on Earth are not the only people that exist. Number 12, have you ever made a potion of any sort? Yes. Number 13, do you get scared easily? Yes. Yes, I do. Oh, and to go back to number 12, some people are probably going to think like, oh, I've never made a potion, but actually, making a potion, like if you cook things in a pot on the stove, if you make like drinks or you do simmer pots to make your house smell good, those are potions. Like you're doing potions. So you probably have done potions and don't even realize it. It's really that simple. Number 14. Have you ever played Bloody Mary? I don't think so. I don't think I have. Like I said, I get scared easily. 15. Do you believe in demons and the devil? Yes. 16. You're home alone and you hear footsteps in the house. What do? Panic. Absolutely panic. I probably call my fur babies and lock myself in a room and call my husband over and over until he answers. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but that would probably be what I would do. Hiding, definitely. Those are the types of things that I would do. Check my doorbell, check my camera. I have a camera to see in the living room. Number 17, if you get trapped in one scary movie, which one do you choose? One scary movie, which one do you choose? Scary movies. I would probably want to do something where I would get like cool abilities. What are some like scary movies where you get like cool abilities? I know there are. I'm thinking of like TV shows. Man, I don't know. I'm not like a huge scary movie person, so I can't even really think of any scary movies that I would want to be in. I don't want to be in the scary movies. Yeah, I don't think there are any. I'm just gonna not do that one. If you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Probably like a fairy or a sorceress or something like magical and cool like that. Would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yeah. I don't really have like specific superstitions to like graveyards, I don't think. So, I don't think I would have any reason to be like afraid to go to a graveyard. I mean, I wouldn't go there just like for fun, but like if I had like a reason to go there at night, yeah, I would go to a graveyard at night. I don't think there's any reason I wouldn't. But I'm like afraid of the dark in general, so like just going outside at night, if it's like an abandoned area, I'm probably going to be a little bit creeped out. But like, yeah, there's no reason I specifically wouldn't go. Where were we? In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? I should have had my husband play along with this because he is like all over the zombie apocalypse scenarios. My weapon of choice for a zombie apocalypse, I would want like a rocket launcher or a grenade or grenade launcher. Something that will cause a big boom and explode the enemies, and I don't have to know how to aim very well. But if we're being like, a little bit more realistic and assuming that I know what I'm doing with the weapon also, probably like a crossbow. I think a crossbow would be good because you could like stake them through the brain and you can do it from a distance. So yeah, I think a crossbow. Sorry. Let's see. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or go trick-or-treating? Well, I was one of those people that went trick-or-treating, like, way older. I didn't stop trick-or-treating because I was, like, a teenager. I trick-or-treated the whole time. I liked getting dressed up and, like, walking around and getting candy. But But I do like parties. Like, I'm not like a party person, you know? But like a fun party, I like a fun party. So I think nowadays I would say doing like a fun Halloween party. But back in the day, trick-or-treating. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic? Let me put this pattern down. The smart one or the killer? Oof. Okay, are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? I don't know. I don't feel like I would be any of those. Where is the like overly cautious one? I don't want to be the final person. I don't want to be by myself at the end. But I don't think I would be the first to die either, because I'm like cautious. I don't think I would be like, you know, the person that's going off on their own and doing dumb stuff that ends up dying. Maybe the smart one? I would say the comic relief possibly, but like, I don't know if I would be in the mood for comedy, you know, if I'm in a horror movie. So I'm not sure, actually. Okay, number 23. Do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror film to be able to go to sleep? I don't think so. I don't watch horror movies like super often. Okay, so in the past, I went and watched Insidious in theaters with my friend and her mom, and then they dropped me off at home, and I was home alone. I was freaking out the whole time. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I did not expect that there would be nobody else home. And I always used to get freaked out in my parents' house because it's like a bigger house out like away from town, and I just am not about that. I like to be around people, even though I don't like to talk to them, and I'm going to stay inside my home. I like the security of like knowing there are people around. So like if I was like screaming or like went outside and was like screaming or, you know, something that people would hear, like if I needed help. So I don't want to be alone after watching a horror movie, but like if I go to sleep now, like I have my husband and my fur babies, so, you know, I would think I would probably be fine. I wouldn't be opposed to watching something funny or happy afterwards. But when I watch something, I don't like I have to like have a little while to transition into like a new frame of mind to watch the next thing, because I'm like, my brain is like in that thing and I'm thinking about that thing and I'm kind of like stuck on that thing, and then you just try to turn on something else and it annoys me. So I have to like have like some time to like decompress after I watch it, and then I'm ready to like process a new thing. So yeah, I would say given my current circumstances, no. Other circumstances, if I was going to be by myself, yes. Okay, do you want... Oh, wait, that's the one we just did. Number 24, while watching scary movies... Oops. Are you the one yelling at the characters, covering your eyes, or sleeping? Yelling at the characters and covering my eyes. I am one of those annoying people to watch movies with because I do make commentary while I watch movies. I like to have fun when I watch movies, so I make commentary, I laugh obnoxiously loud. If it's like something with like cute scenes in it, I'm gonna freak out about how cute they are the whole time. So I am like a vocal person when I watch a movie. And I do cover my eyes, like I said, when I'm watching scary movies. If they're doing something that is like really like skin crawlingly, like not something I want to watch, I will cover my eyes. Number 25, Are you the one that gets scared or does the scaring? I am the one that gets scared. 26, favorite scary book. Scary book? I don't know. Okay, I've read books that have like scary stuff to them. Okay, when I was younger, I read some Goosebumps books. And those are probably like the only scary books, like purposely scary books that I've read. And those were like, scary books. And I've read books with like, scary parts to them. Like I've read some Stephen King books. And my husband likes to listen to creepypastas, so sometimes I'll listen to those, but honestly, I'm not a big fan. Sometimes, like, it's kind of like with horror movies, I have to be in that frame of mind. Otherwise, I don't like to be influenced in my mood by them. So I don't really have a favorite scary book. Number 27. How old were you when you saw your first scary movie? Oh man, I don't know. In utero. My family didn't have rules when it came to like the type of media that you were consuming. Like we didn't have rules about not watching certain things. They watched like scary things with us. They took us to movie theaters for like rated R movies when I was like a little kid. So I literally have no idea. I don't remember a time where I wasn't taking in the same content as everybody else was. Number 28, what was your first Halloween costume? I have no idea what my first Halloween costume was. The first Halloween costumes that I remember are me going as a Power Ranger and me going as Pikachu. And I think I went as Pikachu first, and then I think I went as a Power Ranger. And my first costumes that I remember my siblings going as is my middle sibling going as a unicorn and the youngest going as a ladybug, as like an actual baby. They were a ladybug. And the other one was like, the little toddler unicorn outfit. So cute. I was very jealous of that outfit, so I remember it because I wanted one of those for me. But I am 4 years older than my younger sister, my middle sister, and that unicorn costume was not for me. Number 29, what are you going for as for Halloween this year? I'm going as Mrs. Potato Head. If you haven't heard about that already, I'm going to be going as Mrs. Potato Head, and hubby's going as Mr. Potato Head, and the whole family is doing different Toy Story costumes because my nephew is obsessed with Toy Story. So we thought he would get a kick out of that. And I'm going to be visiting, so we are getting in on the shenanigans for that. Number 30, if you could have a spooky Halloween pet, what would you choose? A black cat, a bat, an owl, a rat, etc. Ooh, a spooky Halloween pet. Okay, so I'm just going to skip cat because cats are something that like I would have normally, and a black cat I would have normally, so I'm not going to consider that a Halloween pet. But probably an owl because I absolutely love owls. I think owls are so cool. Especially like, like Hedwig from Harry Potter, like the snowy white owl. Love it. I would totally do an owl. Number 31, the last question. What is your favorite paranormal or supernatural creature? Ooh, right up my alley. Vampire, zombie, werewolf, etc. Okay, so this is a little bit of a hard one for me because growing up, like my whole life, I've been super obsessed with vampires. I thought vampires were really awesome. I did like reports, like in school, we got to do like, it was just for like English to like practice public speaking or like practice like presenting info. And I literally did like a big like presentation over vampires. I used to have like coffee table books about vampires and stuff, and this was like before Twilight, if you know what Twilight is, before that like Twilight craze where like everybody started becoming obsessed with vampires. I was obsessed with vampires before that. Like ever since I was like a kid, I've been obsessed with vampires. And I'm also just like, I love supernatural stuff in general. I just think it's so interesting. So one thing they didn't list, they said like etc. You know, like you could think of anything, was fairies. In my older age now, I'm kind of more obsessed with like fae folk. But I do still really like find vampires interesting and werewolves interesting. So yeah, I just really like all of them. I think right now it feels like I should have to say vampire because of it being my favorite for so long. But I think right now I would have to say like fairies. Or if you consider gnomes to be a paranormal or supernatural creature, because gnomes could be considered like a supernatural creature. Depends on what kind of a gnome you're looking at. But yeah, so I'm going to say like fairies / gnomes, depending if you are including them. But that is the 31 questions. So I hope that you found that interesting or fun. And I would love to hear what you guys think, or like what you guys have your answers. And you don't have to answer all of them. If you just want to answer some of them, that's totally fine. And this was just for fun, so, you know, don't take any of the answers too seriously. I was just kind of rambling and having fun with it. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys!